Well, boneheaded boaters, here we go. We got another one for you. This bad boy was sitting on the bottom of the ocean.
So what do you do after you recover something like this off the bottom of the ocean? Well, you have a little fun with it, just like we're about to see here. Welcome back, crew, to this episode of Googans of the Week. Speaking of recovering things, there's nothing quite like hanging out at the boat ramp and watching the Googans try and recover their boat after a day of enjoying themselves out on the water. The strange part on this one is he's got a friend on the dock helping him out, but it must not be a good friend because he hasn't alerted him at all that the boat's actually coming off the trailer. Sure, our last Googans were struggling to get the boat on the trailer, but I guess it could always be worse.
Hey, tell him to keep it running.
So he's trying to tell him to keep it running so hopefully the truck doesn't take any water in, but the reality is the interior is completely underwater. They've got it stopped on the dock. They might be able to salvage this one, but man, it's still gonna be a rough time. But I love this one. Our lady, she couldn't quite get out of the vehicle, had to get her purse first.
Slippery. Don't pull. Slide. Lightly, lightly. Don't fall.
Now, of course, when we think of the Googans, we think of people doing silly things in boating or silly things around the docks, but it's not always people doing that. Now, of course, sometimes we'll see animals jump into this on their own like we just saw. Other times, those animals will be a little more forced into it. But sometimes the animals will have a little more fun than we think out there on the water, kind of like this scene here. If you look at the sailboat off in the distance, in a few moments, you'll notice that it starts to move. Well, apparently, an orca decided it would be fun to go ahead and grab the anchor line and actually play with the boat while it was here at anchor. Here you're going to watch it in a few moments as the orca just drags it all around this bay. Basically, I don't know if it didn't like something about the boat or it's really just using it as like a teething play toy. Just have to keep this in mind the next time you leave your boat out there on the hook and you come back and it's a different spot. Something may have found it and just decided they were going to play with it instead of leaving it alone. Thanks for watching, crew. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Googans of the Week. If you ever see anything crazy happening out on your waterways, be sure to hit us up on Facebook or Instagram and let us know, and you might see your stories over here. Just like Adam Coolidge, Atlanta's Surf, Mr. Blonde, Certified Cracker, Cole K1, Pawsock Graham, and Miami Boat Ramps did this week. And if you guys haven't already, go ahead and drop an anchor on the subscribe button here.